Okay, so many of you guys have asked me exactly what my opinion is on water culture, whether it be semi-water culture or full water culture. I mean, is it wrong? Is it right? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it better? Is it worse? Well, that all depends. I mean, have you guys tried it out, and what were your results? Because that's going to determine if it's the best method for you to grow it in. Speaking of method, that is exactly what it is. It is another alternative for us to grow our orchids. So that's always a good thing. The more options we have available are the more options we have to grow our orchids, and try to see exactly what would work best for us. Now, can water culture work? Of course it can. And although I have never grown my orchids to the full duration of its growth time with me in water culture, I can tell you that I have used water culture methods to rescue my orchids, in which they helped me to grow back the orchid roots healthy and abundantly. So yes, indeed, it can work. Now, are we going to find our orchids growing that way in its natural habitat? No, we're not. We're not going to find our orchids with their roots submerged in water for either the full duration or even temporarily of the time growing that way in nature. Ha ha ha! We just don't. But if you really think about it, folks, when we pot up our orchids, whether it be in bark, lava rock, sphagnum moss, whatever material we decide to use, when we pot it up, we're also trying to accommodate it in a certain way that does not grow that way in nature. We're not going to find those orchids potted up in its natural habitat either. It's all about us trying to take the best that we can with the knowledge that we have to accommodate our orchids and growing it the best way we can using different types of methods. And that's why I think it is a great thing to have water culture as a method, because that provides us yet another alternative just in case the methods that we are currently using is not growing our orchids the way that we would wish that they would grow. What we're trying to do here, folks, is we're trying to accommodate our orchids in the best way possible. And that's by either potting it up, growing it in semi-water culture, full water culture, mounting it, however we decide to grow it. But that is going to be the decision of what we think is going to work best for us. So if you're using water culture and it's doing absolutely great for you, then green thumbs up. It is a good method for you to use. But of course, if you are using water culture and then you find that your orchids are actually doing worse, then it may not be the best method for you to use. That doesn't mean it's wrong or right. It just means that that is not the method for you. Now, if you have never tried the water culture method before and you do want to transition your orchids over, what I would recommend is that you do it with just a select few. Definitely do not choose an orchid that is high in value to you and very sentimental, because you do not want to risk that orchid, and you definitely do not want to risk losing out on it either. So definitely just a select few to go ahead and do the trial and error process with. Give it time, see the results, and then decide if you want to go full force with it. So there you have it, folks. That is my opinion on water culture. Now, I have seen many of you guys that are doing water culture and have gotten superb results. Now, I'm not an expert on water culture. Again, I already told you I haven't done it fully for the full duration for any of my orchids, but I can tell you I have some friends that have. Now, Samantha's orchid, she does that with many of her orchids, a wide variety of different types. So definitely she would be one to watch, and also she would be one to go to if you have any questions. And I'm going to post her information in the description below, so definitely check her out. And I know there's quite a few that are doing the semi-water culture, so definitely if you want to do it, give it a try, see if it works for you, and keep me posted. Let me know. You never know, I also might give it a try one day. I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of my orchid adventure. And as you guys know, the more that we know, the more that we can grow. You already know this also as well, right? Of course you do. That indeed, I truly do love you guys all. Mwah, 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 and